Mr. Chips of the newspaper world retired today when Bob Jervis put his chalk on the shelf after 40 years in the business. The last 20 years of those were as a cadet counsellor at the Advertiser. Bob's services to journalism have netted him a Medal of the Order of Australia and a gold honour badge from the Australian Journalists Association. Many of the writers he's trained are now in top media positions. Today, 136 of them attended a lunch to pay tribute to the man Des Cahoon says has had more effect on the quality of life in South Australia than the last 10 state governments. Pat Hudson reports.
We've all recognised Bob's amazing penchant for outrageous ties.
Top names, some well-known faces, and those yet to make their mark, lavished praise and gentle fun in the To Serve With Love tribute to Bob today.
For no cadet could ever throw him, and he took them all in hand. They learnt to write through Jerv's persistent strains.
This year's cadets expressed their feelings in a Henry Lawson parody. But it was Max Fatchen, also in rhyme, who summed up the contribution made by this doyen journalist.
It's called Bob's the Job. Oh, nobly did his band perform. Perfection was the Jervis norm. On language never sun did set, instilled within each brash cadet. He worked with expertise and wit, and no infinitive dare split.
In Bob Jervis, we've got simply the best trainer of cadets in Australia. He's designed the course, and he's got, I think he's dominated the media field in Australia. The whole Australian newspapers, television and radio are littered with Jervis-trained cadets.
Today, Bob walked into the classroom for the last time. In his 45 years as a journalist, he's worked in nearly every facet of journalism. He's been a cadet counsellor for the past 17 years.
The main thing about my attitude to my job is that I literally had no training. I, in fact, was told the day that I started as a cadet, read your newspaper, Bob.
What do you think makes a good journalist? I mean, journalism gets an awful lot of flack, doesn't it, from time to time?
Yeah. Well, they've got to be given some insight into what they're going into when they start, and the training must start there. They've got to be tenacious, and they've got to be pay great attention to detail. And they are two of the things that you have to be. Well, I've forgotten the most important. You certainly do have to be able to write.
But the impression Bob has made on generations of cadets has gone beyond his professional skills.
He's been there concerned and loving throughout as your personal development as well.
Well, he's got a wealth of experience that he's shared with all of us, and I think we've been very lucky to have him.
150 cadets have been very lucky to have Bob's training. 14 of them have become government press secretaries, one to the Prime Minister, who today sent a telegram of best wishes to Bob on his retirement.
The many people who have learnt their craft under your guidance owe you a great debt. I wish you well, Bob Hawke.
Des, you said that Bob had probably had more influence in South Australia than 10 past governments. What exactly did you mean?
Well, I think I meant that because the media have a very important role in our society, and a good media and honest media, therefore, is doubly important. For someone like Bob Jervis, who has insisted on the highest standards, integrity and decency and real professionalism in journalism, has served this city and the state so wonderfully.
For Julie Duncan, Bob's successor, it's going to be a hard act to follow.
Oh yes, everybody keeps saying they're very big shoes to wear, and it certainly is. I don't see that I'm replacing Bob. I'm taking over where he left off, and I'll do it in the way I know best. And we certainly have a different style, but I hope I do it justice, and I hope I do Bob's career justice.
On behalf of all the present cadets, those going through the system, and those who can't be here serving sentences in foreign offices. Anyway, we'd all like to say thank you. I don't know what else to say.
This guru of our English tongue, who hatched his journalistic chicks and taught them all their clever tricks, our mentor and our dinkum mate, this doyen of the Fourth Estate, white-haired, respected, born to service. So here's our heartfelt toast, Bob Jervis.
Hear, hear. And Bob's written a very useful book, by the way. It tells you how not to split infinitives and all sorts of other basic principles of writing. And his first retirement plan is to visit all those out-of-the-way places that his cadets have misspelt over the years. After the break, heavyweight boxing contender